Hello, hello Aries. Welcome to your August 2018 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Aries. And just go ahead and tune in, feel into your body, check in with yourself, see what's going on today. If there's anything you would like to have come up during the reading, go ahead and just make a request. If there's an answer that you need, if there's some guidance that you need, for a specific situation, then you can set your intention to have that information shine through during this reading. So go ahead and do that. Take a couple deep breaths. Get present. Okay. So the first thing coming up for Aries, sun, moon, and rising, experiment. Give it a chance to evolve, be patient with your effort, have fun on the journey, leave room in the plan for creative detours and in-the-moment modifications. So this is really about moving away from being rigid. There are a lot of Aries friends, family members of mine that are very, very, very rigid and locked into a belief. So that in part is a gift, and that can also hold you back. So if you can be a little bit more flexible with that, then it's actually going to give you some edge in August. So be a little bit more open-minded. Really look at where you can be more fluid and flexible, and that's going to give you some insight as to how you can upgrade what you already have going. Next, we have Radiant. I think you have a lot going on that is working for you. You know, August has seemed up to this point in the readings, it's been kind of a busybody month for a lot of people, so you don't seem to be an exception. It seems like this is actually something that you've been cultivating for a while, though. It looks a little bit more intentional with this. And the affirmation for you is nature. It's time to unleash your inner hippie and step outside of that man-made box. Take a walk in the woods, smell those flowers, hug some trees. You might think you're being ironic, like, look at me, I'm being all tree huggery and stuff. But you'll find that even then those trees will hug you back. Trees come from a time before irony, and their earnestness is impervious to our jaded humor. If that doesn't make you want to hug them even more, well, I guess you're a robot. Okay, so get outside. That is going to help ground out the energy. I think a lot of people are in need of that. So if you listen to your sun, moon, and rising, you might hear that message come up, because I know that there are other signs that share that with you as well. A need for staying grounded during this month. And nature is one of the fastest ways to do that. The central energy for you this month is Judgment. Final decisions are being made. You might need to take a little bit extra time in contemplation, in incubation, just holding off on making any snap judgments, but you are getting to the point where you're making some really big decisions. So take your time. Again, experiment. Wherever you can find, unless it's time sensitive, of course, anytime you can find a gap or a moment when you can take a step back rather than being impulsive, that is going to be the secret sauce for you. So stop, breathe, think, consider all the angles, consider all the sides, and see what comes through for you. The crossing energy is the devil. Yep, it's that impulsive, wanting to just make things happen for the hell of it, diving headfirst into something. You don't need to do that. You can. You totally can. You have agency over your own life. You can do whatever you want, but it seems like there's some temptation. Also, mind you, this is probably my favorite devil card in any deck that I own. But it's really highlighting that hedonistic part of your shadow self, which kind of just wants to light your life on fire. You know, there is part of that with Aries that is just like, whatever, I'm just gonna do it anyway. And that's not the approach that you want to take. You actually want to challenge yourself and push yourself to do things differently at this time. I don't think that impulsivity is going to serve you at all. It might actually cause more of an issue than if you just hold off briefly and let yourself take a few moments. So consider that if you feel impulsive during this month. What is shifting out for you? Knight of Cups. So let me see. This is actually pointing to the Cancer season. Oddly enough, what did you learn during Cancer season of 2018? So that would be between the end of June, like when the summer solstice was, I believe it was on the 21st, 20th or 21st. From then until July something, whatever the date is, I can't remember. But the Cancer season, that time frame, what happened? Are you reflecting on it? Was there something significant that went on during this time period? You have Temperance. So there's something that you got out of it. There's something that you learned from the Knight of Cups experience. It's emotional in nature. So I think that this is what you're just coming out of. This is fresh. This is brand new. This just happened. This is not an old wound. This is something that you just went through, and you're trying to make decisions with the information that you have now. So this is definitely going to be a tipping point for you in August. The oncoming energy, King of Wands. So you're really feeling into yourself. I think that once you get to this point where you're not being as impulsive, or if you don't consider yourself impulsive, it might be in disguise as feeling urgent. Maybe things feel urgent to you that aren't actually urgent. It might just be your personality. It might just be the Aries part of you that really wants to be in a hurry and be in a rush. There's no need for that with this, whatever this is, right? So this is in your life, according to you, there's something going on here that you need to make a decision about, and rushing it isn't going to help. It's not going to make the decision-making process easier. It's just going to be a half-assed version of decision-making. So let yourself ground that out. I think that's why you have the Experiment and Nature card show up, because it is all about grounding out that impulsivity and making it work for you rather than against you. Okay, the outward manifestation, we have the Six of Swords, so you're moving on from something, and what is that? Only you can answer what it is you're moving away from, but it looks like this Cancer season gave you a big fat clue on what that is. Was there a situation, a person that rubbed you the wrong way, that didn't sit quite right? Is your intuition screaming, hey, you need to take care of this and you need to move away from this? That's the type of stuff that you really want to pay attention to. If you're wondering, how do I take a next step? Go back to this time frame. Go back to the month of June and July and see what happened there. What information did you get? What did you learn? And how is that going to help you make better decisions moving forward? Of course, you always have the option of continuing the same pattern over and over if you want. In the subconscious, you have the Lovers. I think this is a deep need for connection and that intimacy. This is a really, this is a card that makes me think of those primal needs, like to be held, to be touched, to be desired, to be connected. You know, if you're a human being with a human body, you need connection. That's just kind of that's kind of the deal with having an earth body. Even people who are avoidant or who are commitment phobes actually do, deep down, want this. And it is something that looks like might be nagging at you, but I want to be clear that you do not want this to override your other decisions. Your need for intimacy, your need for connection should not push you into desperation. I want to be really, really explicit about that, because as much as this is a need, there are a lot of ways to fill that that are not going to be detrimental or throw a wrench into your personal relationships. So just be mindful of that. Then for the clarifier on the Lovers, I have the Hierophant. Have boundaries with this. This is what I was talking about just now, where you want to not be impulsive with the Lovers. Those two do not mix well at all. So let yourself be more strategic. Let yourself try to self-soothe and put together something where you're not acting out of desperation, because if you feel like you are kind of on the verge of diving into a relationship that doesn't feel quite right, when really you should be taking care of yourself, or wanting to go into dark relationships so that you can get this need met, I promise you there's a lot of other ways that you can meet this that aren't going to be harmful. The advice for you, Ace of Swords, think outside the box. That's the biggest game changer for you this month. If you can think outside the box, think about different ways of doing things that you've never done before, and that is what's going to help you. So slow down, think outside the box, and be open to things being different than what you believe and what your current belief system is. The external environment, we have the Ten of Pentacles. So there is a strong foundation that is supporting you. I think you have your needs met so that you're able to do emotional work in the month of August. But I think you kind of want to rush through it. Like, yeah, I know all that. That's kind of the Aries way. So it's just about slowing down, because you could get sloppy. You could miss stuff. You could overlook things. And this is not the month to overlook this. This is something where you want to get a pen and paper out and make a pros and cons list. That's what August is for you, or that's what will yield the greatest benefits. Whereas impulsivity, quick decision making, not going to pan out well. You have what you need. Take advantage of this to expand in other areas. Now the hopes and fears, the Knight of Wands, I think that you want what you want, and you want it now. That's what the Knight of Wands is just kind of, I want my desires to be met. I don't want to do any of the work. I just want it all to come immediately. Instant gratification. And, you know, me too. That's really nice. I want that too. But in reality, probably not going to happen that way. So let yourself be challenged, let yourself be uncomfortable, let yourself do things differently, and you could see that it actually works better for you as far as an outcome. Let's see, speaking of outcomes, Nine of Pentacles. If you do the work this month, it's going to pan out. You're going to feel really confident and really good about the direction that you're going. If you move too quickly, then you kind of don't get to receive any benefits of your labor because you didn't apply any labor. It might just be you wanting something to resolve quickly, or maybe you were trying to ignore something. So it's like, take a step back, let yourself be a little bit more strategic this month. And then you get to sit in this position, which is more about personal power, autonomy, really putting an emphasis on what you've built up to this point. And you're going to see a lot more come through if you just take your time a little bit. Just hang on. If you can pause this month, you should do it. Now we're going to go into the timeline. As you guys know, unless you're new to my channel, we're doing the first quarter. So this is about the first week of August, second, third, and fourth quarter. So that's where you'll wrap up and end August, heading into September. So where you start off, decisions. What I say. Take your time. Don't rush it. With the exception of time-sensitive decisions, there's no reason why you need to decide right now. You know, there's a balance. This is the whole thing. Aries make decisions like that. If you have a lot of Libra energy, which is the opposite of your sign, that's more of the, I don't know. They're notorious for taking forever to make decisions. And so you are extreme opposites in that regard. I would say that Libra friends would actually help you out right now. I would say spend more time with a Libra and see what do they have to say about the situation. How do they make decisions? You want to take pointers from people who don't do things in the exact same way that you do. You're not going to grow if you just surround yourself with people who have the same perspectives, the same ideas, and are going to just tell you what you want to hear. You want somebody who's going to challenge you and who's going to tell you something different. So I think that Libras have a lot to offer in the decision-making department. So take advantage of that if you can. Or hey, maybe you have a little bit of maybe you have Libra planets that help balance that out. Okay, second quarter. Intuitive and psychic prowess. Listen to your gut, consider your gut, but don't be impulsive. That is the big thing. You can listen to the intuitive hits that you're getting, but I still stand by, even with intuition, take pause, okay? Because you kind of run the risk, oh, okay, I have intuition about it, I'm going to do it. And there are moments when that's appropriate, but I'm getting that it's time for you to practice something new. So this is just one element of the decision-making process that you can consider, but it's something to consider. You don't have to only operate from this place. You don't have to. My God, I do this for a living and I don't even operate from straight up intuition in my personal life. So it's just about integrating all the different parts of you. That is what it means to be a human being. You're not a one-dimensional person. Okay, quarter three. Fun, play, enjoy yourself, get out there, have a good time. Seriously, any chance you get to play or have fun, I would recommend taking it. It looks like it's going to have some serious payoff, so do it when you can, because it's going to be helpful for you in some capacity. And wrapping up August, we have communication. What are you communicating to others? What are you sharing with others? What are you... I'm also getting the intuitive hit that it's for you to kind of evaluate your own communication. If you heard someone who is saying the same things that you are, what advice would you give them? What would you tell them? What would you think about somebody who said something the way you did or had thoughts the way you did? Not from a judgment standpoint, but from a, does it sound loving and kind? Does it sound harsh? Are you beating yourself up? I think it's more about evaluation. And as always, we have a 3-card pick. You are welcome to ask a specific question, or maybe you just want some extra guidance. Either way, you're welcome to pick a card. All right, first thing, experience. Okay, this is also pointing to experiment. That's the other piece that came up, is you're along for the ride, you're going through things, and, you know, there's a lot that's going to happen moving forward, so just put one foot in front of the other. Aries has a deep need to have really vibrant, radiant experiences. And so it's one of those things that is actually an engine for that impulsivity that I was talking about. So for you, I think this is a reminder like, hey, you're having an experience right now, and that's cool too. You know, you don't have to chase it all the time. Being still can be an experience. So I'm getting that there's a real need for you to mix it up and do things you've never done before, or take an approach that is maybe not the most comfortable. Card 2, Six of Cups. Karmic relationships. If you're dealing with a karmic relationship right now, my heart goes out to you. So this is about nostalgia, and again, that soulmate, karmic connection, karmic relationships, which can be kind of tricky. So again, decision making should come from a place of staying grounded and present, especially if it has anything to do with a karmic connection. I can't tell you how many people put their lives on hold for karmic connections. And so you don't want to make decisions exclusively from the place of wanting to keep it even if it's unhealthy. You just want to keep in mind that it's just another one of those things that exists. I'm sure I'm going to get some heat in the comment section for that. But there is, I guess the message that's coming up is just take your time with this and allow yourself to be open to the relationships that you have right now and the ones that are coming in, right? It's not all about what happened before. You can keep moving forward. You can keep looking ahead towards what's next. This is actually more pointing to letting go of some of the past stuff and moving forward and getting things done, because you are evolving, you are changing. As you grow, change, and become a closer, more aligned version of yourself, things of the past are going to fall away. So don't forget that. Card number 3, we have the King of Coins. Strategy. That's the big word that's coming up for that card. Strategy, strategy, strategy. Please take into consideration the way that you approach people, places, things, opportunities. The King of Coins is really gifted at being strategic and mindful about what it is that he's doing each and every step of the way. So this is a time to really consider that and kind of take notes. Hang out with your Earth friends. Anyone who has like really prominent Earth, so Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus placements, that's going to help. It also has to do with grounding that out and, you know, spending some time with the real life stuff. You know, the everyday stuff. Okay, so that is all that I have for this reading. I hope that you've enjoyed this reading as much as I've enjoyed reading for you. As always, if you're looking to work with me one-on-one, you are welcome to check out all of the links in the description box. You can book a session with me. You can get a tarot spread or a single question reading, and follow me on Facebook and Instagram for live readings. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful August, Aries. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.